Politico's reporting that President Trump has blindsided officials, and they're now scrambling to develop a plan to combat the nation's worsening opioid crisis. The president's opioid commission met across the street from the White House today. No word on whether they're any closer to announcing a plan of action. The time for a plan, though, has never been more urgent. As we report to you a lot on this show, according to the Centers for Disease Control, 91 Americans die every day from an opioid overdose. Joining me now is NBC's Stephanie Gosk, who's been talking to a group of people you may not realize are deeply impacted by this opioid crisis. Stephanie?
Hi, Allie. Well, we've done a lot of important reporting on the opioid crisis. We continue to do that. We essentially here uncovered a class of victims that we don't talk a lot about and that need attention and help, and that's the grandparents. As you know, drug addiction is ripping parents and kids apart across the country, and it's the grandparents who often step in to raise the grandchildren, effectively becoming new parents again. It's a growing demographic that is wrestling with losing a child to drugs while at the same time gaining a child.
Right here, smell.
Good job.
5-year-old Colton is filled with boundless energy.
He says I can't always have all chocolate.
A challenge for his grandmother, Penny Kreitmeyer,
Sorry, little sister.
raising him because her daughter is struggling with opioid addiction.
We have daycare expenses. We know we have extra food. We know we have clothes for somebody who grows an inch every week. It's just things that we didn't think that we would be dealing with at this age.
The opioid epidemic is tearing through the country.
They're both breathing.
Okay. So you're unable to wake them up?
No, I died, and they will wake up.
The number of children being removed from their parents because of drugs and alcohol is on the rise. But what you don't see are the grandparents, often picking up the pieces. You are doing something that goes above and beyond what you expect to do.
But he didn't ask for it. He didn't ask to be in this position. He deserves to have a happy childhood, and the alternative is that he would have been put in a foster care program.
Tell me a little bit about where you get support. Who do you lean on? Where do you get help?
Me and her, about it.
That's about it.
A Facebook group helps too. Grandparent to Grandparent, 2,500 strong and growing.
It's the one place where you can go where people understand how you can hate and love your child all at the same time and not be judged.
She asked what the group would want to share with NBC, and the answers came pouring in.
Just the first one is talking about the thousands of dollars of adopting their own grandchildren.
Legal assistance, financial support.
Daycare, can't adopt because I can't afford health insurance for him.
We heard the same message from grandparents around the country.
My son Ryan died of a heroin overdose when the baby was just 2 months old.
Addiction is a family disease and does not just affect the addict.
Grandparents like me need assistance.
We need support from family and friends. We need support from our elected officials.
Grandparents themselves are screaming out loud for legislators and local officials to step up and support them.
Larry Cooper runs the Kinship program at the Children's Home Network in Tampa, Florida, one of few programs in the country that offer a support network for grandparents. Hi, guys.
Hey, Carol.
Some of them brought in their grandkids and shared their stories. How many of you are taking care of these children because you're worried that they aren't safe with their own parents?
When he was 6 months old, they went to buy drugs, and the baby got hurt in the drug buy. I had to have my daughter arrested, take my grandson.
My husband and I had to hire a private detective to finally get the kids.
You're worried about your daughter, but at the same time, you're more worried about the grandchildren.
This is not what being a grandparent was supposed to be, is it?
No.
Yeah, I feel robbed. It's like you gotta be the mean old parent, So I've been robbed as a grandparent.
It put me in a depression at first, because I kept saying, I have worked, I've saved my money to do what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, I'm starting all over again.
Let's talk about the money. And it's got to be a big factor.
Yeah.
How much of a drain does it put on your day-to-day?
Been a lot of dipping in the savings, especially with all the lawyers.
And dipping in 401k.
Yeah.
The kids we met were all smiles. The resilience of childhood masking what they are living through.
I feel bad for my grandchildren that their mother does not want them. That's the hardest part.
His mother doesn't care about him, and he knows it. He said, my mom loves drugs more than me.
Your grandson said that to you?
Yes.
Yeah, ours said it. Ours said it too.
But the children don't let them dwell too much in the sadness. There is that joy, too, isn't there?
Yeah, there's joy.
Best part of my day, every day, is when I come in after work and they hear that key go like that, and my grandson and his little puppy come running up to me. Every day, Grandpa! That's everything to me.
Many of the grandparents we spoke to hope their kids will get clean and come back to raise their children. Many are desperately trying to get their lives together and their kids back, including Penny's daughter, who we spoke to, who is 8 months sober, but she says she's still not ready to be a parent.
How is this handled legally?
Well, obviously they need support.
Yeah.
There is a bill in the Senate